Hello again, listeners, and welcome back to the Kotu Classic podcast. I'm your host, Solomon. And as usual, Chama nakam nak.
Boy, maa ngi cool man, maa ngi cool bu em rek week bii moom nekkul cool yooyu noonu.
Yeah,
Cool bu em.
bad week at the office.
Yeah, bad week at the office. It's a very bad week at the FPL office for me this week.
Yeah,
But
it's not been good. Yeah,
yeah. But still, I'm still in a position where I will be happy with given to me at the start of the season. So I will just look at it as a very bad week and then move on. That's it.
definitely put it behind us.
Yeah.
Okay, we are recording game week 7 preview. It's Tuesday here in the US. It's about 8:45 p.m. And what time is it over there in Japan?
It's just 12:45 midday in Japan. Sun is shining, you know.
That's nice.
As you guys are about to sleep. So yeah,
different world. I know. Different world. It's crazy. But yeah, the wonders of the world. And we have a lot to talk about today. There's a lot of game week 6 highlights, even though it's been like a kind of like a very sad for most managers because the average was very low, but still, yeah, the points were low as well. So yeah, we'll talk about the recap of the game week results. We'll talk about the stats summary, Chama's favorite section of the pod. They'll explain all the overperformers and the underperformers of the week. And then we'll just brush through the highlights. There's a lot of highlights this week. So yeah. And then I'll be wildcarding. So we'll talk about my team in as briefly as possible. And we get tips from Chama. Chama will tell me which players he thinks the replacements might be better in this scenario. So yeah. Let's go to our performances. As the quicker the better, because the quicker the better, because it wasn't a good week.
Yeah.
So Chama, let's start with you this time around.
Yeah, let's go with me. I ended the game week with 42 points. A game week rank of 4.4 million.
Wow.
This is my lowest of the season so far, and of course my first red arrow of the season. Going into the game week, I took a -4-2. I took a hit to bring in Gallagher and Antonio, which didn't go wrong because Antonio gave me a return of a goal and Gallagher gave me an assist too with 4 points. So it's kind of a +8 net. I would have got 0 point from Mount and Bamford. They were both injured, so I had to do something about them. But yeah, the only disappointment I had in my team was that bench in Samedo. I had Samedo's bench clean sheet points on my bench. So yeah, but otherwise not much to be very excited about. Ronaldo was my captain. I was so excited when I saw the United penalty and then to just turn and see Bruno taking it. But yeah, I think the miss also made it better for me at the end. Salah and Jota were my only other returnees. They both returned a goal with 7, and I feel unlucky or lucky kind of.
It's Salah.
Because Salah should have scored more, 3 big chances. Jota should have scored more, 2 big chances, and he created 1 as well. So yeah, it was a difficult game week at the office. So I ended the game week with 42 points. Like I say, my rank dropped from 410 to 4.9 million. So still within the top 5,000, which is my
4.9k.
Yeah,
4.9k.
4.9k. 4.9k, not 4.9 million. I'm still traumatized by the 4.4 million game rank. Yeah, 4.9k. So which is within my target, which was around 5-10k. So I cannot complain much. So I just take it as a bad week at the office, which is everybody will.
It happens. Yeah, it happens. Yeah, so, it's okay.
Yeah. How was your game week? How did you do?
Mine wasn't much better either, to be honest. I escaped. It could have been worse because I didn't have most of the big hitters in the team, the squad, like the Ronaldos or Lukaku. I didn't have any of those guys and the Antonio. So yeah. I think I just scraped by because the average was 43. I actually came up with 46 points, which is honestly not bad, but still in this game week it was a bit bad. And with the game week rank of 3.1 million. My rank, I think, dropped from 300 and something K, 20, if I can remember, to 4. It's now 401K.
Yeah.
401K, like the US. Anyway, yeah. So I captained Salah. I was very lucky because I was caught between Fernandez and Salah. But my logic from last season that I learned from Yabi is not to captain. It's difficult, not difficult per se, but it's it happens like superstition not to captain the player that is playing the first game of the week.
Yeah, it completely
So
ruins
yeah,
your week.
because of it ruins your week. So because of that, I switched it last minute to Salah.
Okay.
And it was on Bruno, and then I switched to Salah, and which was a good call because Salah was the only like top performer, apart from Sarr, who I brought in. Salah 14 points, Sarr with 9 points, Ben Rahma 3, Ings with 2, Tony with assist, I think, and then 5. Luke Shaw was injured, got me 0 points. Fernandez missed a penalty, got me 0 points. But Rafinha did well for me, so he got 8 points, and then the rest were just 2s and 1s. So it was pretty bad for me this game week, but yeah, it could have been worse, anyways. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I can remember last season when you were struggling to enter into the top 1 million at this stage of the season when we are recording. Yeah,
last season was stressful.
It was stressful to get into the top 1 million, but yeah, I think at this stage of the season, 400,000 it's good to build on. It's a good position to build on. Of course, you want to be higher up, but yeah, you can build on it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so moving on to the recap of the game week 6 results. I'll just read through the highlights, which are very interesting. Man City humbled Chelsea in their own backyard to remind the doubters that they are still the best team in the league with a dominant performance and 5th clean sheet of the Spain. On the Spain, yeah, that's very impressive. I think it's time to start looking at their defenders to see if we can get some of them in. Late drama at Old Trafford as Aston Villa scored late and then conceded a 90-minute penalty. Ronaldo owners licked their lips only to see Bruno step up and sky the spot kick. So this was definitely in your territory with the
absolutely.
Yeah, the debate has been settled. So it means that Bruno is on penalties now. But it might change. You never know, because I've never seen that kind of penalty from Bruno since he's been in Manchester United, to be honest.
Absolutely. It was the pressure. Yeah. The pressure was too much on him.
Yeah, if you can't handle the pressure, give it to Ronaldo. He's used to this kind of pressure, man. Come on.
That's right.
Yeah. Antonio back with a bang to further dent Leeds' miserable start to the season. This was lucky from Antonio captainers, and because it was in the last kick, almost the last kick of the game, to be honest.
Yeah, lucky in that sense, I would say, but not lucky in the sense that he had a lot of chances to score beforehand. I think he was the best performer of the week in terms of chances, in terms of creativity. So not lucky in that sense. He deserved a goal, I think. So maybe lucky because it happened late on, but
okay. Yeah. I was just waiting for the final whistle to go. I wasn't watching the game. I was just following the alerts on my phone. I was like, yes, finally, Antonio scored. And then I just looked away for like a split second and looked, and then I saw goal. It's like, man, I was just crossing my fingers, but hopefully like it didn't work for me. So that was fine. I didn't own him. I was hoping that he would blank so that it would make things even for us. But anyways, you move. Liverpool-Brentford played an entertaining 3-3 draw with a chance to galore for both teams. Yeah, 5 big chances were registered at both ends. Definitely match of the season for neutrals. This was a very good game to watch. I was watching and doing something, and then like the goals were just coming on both ends. Like you scored, the equalizers. Oh man, it was good. But I think you guys should have taking your chances. You created a lot of chances, to be honest.
Yeah. We should have. Yeah, I think Salah wasted one. Jota wasted one glorious one. Liverpool could have gone 3-1 or 3-2, like 4-2 up, like 2 goals lead. But yeah, they never took their chances when they had them at that stage of it. So, and they did not control them. I don't like the control in terms of defense, but yeah. But sometimes we play like this, just teamwork, just like we did against this last season.
They just want to come and play. They want to come and play.
So we just explore, and see who scores more. Yeah.
So North London is red. London Derby. Arsenal produced their performance of the season to put the arch rivals Tottenham to the sword with a dominant 3-1 performance. This was dominant. I couldn't even believe the first few minutes of this game. Very dominant. Very dominant. Tottenham, I think they might be onto some serious problems right now. So I don't know if it's that serious or it's just something that they have to go through. But yeah, Sar and Alan Saxon and Alan, what's his name again?
ASM. Alan Saint-Maximin.
Alan Saint-Maximin. Looking like the real deals for Watford and Newcastle, both involved in the team's goal in the 1-1 draw at Vicarage Road. So yeah, I think both of them are good players for their teams, even though with the Wilson injury and everything. So
yeah, absolutely. They are the star, like they are the talisman right now.
Yeah, right now, yeah. Jimenez is back among the goals. First competitive goal since returning from the horrific head injury as Wolves down Southampton 1-0. Jose Sa with the assist. Sa created 2 big chances in that match, highest of any player during the game week. Can you imagine a goalkeeper creating
Yeah,
assists?
crazy.
Creating 2 big chances in that's just
It's
crazy.
crazy.
So
Yeah.
honestly, I'm happy for Jimenez because to get back to scoring ways, this goal that he scored will really do wonders for his confidence, to be honest. And I think I'm really happy. I think most people are happy for him to be back amongst the goals. Like it does wonders for him to get back to,
Definitely.
Vardy doing Vardy things, obviously. Bang the hat trick, 2 at the right end and 1 in the wrong end. Leeds drew Burnley. So I don't know what's going on with Leicester, man, honestly.
They're
But I was
struggling, right?
surprised. I saw the goal, I saw the own goal, and then I saw another goal again. So this is just Vardy. I think he's being very impatient in this game. And Zaha scored again versus Brighton, but Maupay scores late, take a point home from for Brighton. Yeah, pretty tight game, this one.
Pretty tight one. Yeah. Zaha, I told you last week Zaha was gonna score. I don't know who took that punt, but yeah, he always score against Brighton.
Against Brighton, yeah. He was one that took the penalty and scored, yeah. So
yeah.
Pretty much. And last but not least, Duque continues to impress for Everton with another goal in their 2-0 win over Norwich. Townsend took the spot kick responsibility in the absence of DCL and Richarlison. So yeah, Duque, I think he's on my watch list, so I'm keeping an eye on him because I've mentioned him before. So let's see how that goes.
Yeah, the only problem there is Everton fixtures now is gonna turn because they haven't played any top six sides.
Top 6, yeah.
Over their first 6 games. So now is the time that they're gonna play this team. So maybe it's gonna get harder for them. So, but yeah, still, I think they have a good manager in Benitez. He's gonna set them out to play good. Like they can win some of these big games. And Benitez is very good when it comes to playing against the big teams. So I can see them getting a few wins here and there. Yeah.
All right. So next, let's talk about the Game Week 6 stats summary. So you can take us through some of the stats.
Yeah, Game Week 6. Here is the table for teams. Team statistics: attack on the left and defense on the right. So of course, attack is sorted by expected goals. Of course, Liverpool have been dominant in that department. They created the most number of chances. They had the highest XG, and Brentford were right up there with them. So imagine in the same game, the top 2 performers of the week in terms of expected goals were the 2 teams that played each other. So that's why I think that game was very, very entertaining. Both teams created a lot. 5 big chances for Liverpool, 5 big chances for Brentford, 3 goals for Liverpool, 3 goals for Brentford. So they are the kind of the best performers when it comes to expected or attacking performance in the game week. And the team that underperformed the most was Manchester United. They created an XG of 2 and they ended up with 0 goals. So yeah, that was a bit tough for the United. 2 big chances created. They had the penalty and yeah, they missed it. So yeah, that was a bit tough there for United. And the biggest overperforming team was Burnley. Burnley created an XG of 0.6 and they ended the game week with 2 goals against Leicester. Of course, one of them was the own goal for Vardy. So yeah, they overperformed by 1.4. And if you look at the defensive numbers, Manchester City also continue to dominate this department. They were playing one of their rivals in Chelsea for the title, and they completely shut them down. Chelsea created 0 big chances. So Manchester City considered 0 big chances and XGC, expected goal considered, of 0.2 and ended up with 0 goals conceded. So yeah, this is very, 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 very minimal. And they were the best defensive performing team this game week, imagine, against one of the big 6 rivals.
Yeah, one of the big teams. Imagine that.
Yeah. In terms of overperformance, in terms of defense, was Aston Villa. Since Man United is the best, is the biggest underperformer. So Aston Villa were the highest overperformer. They considered an XG of 2.0 from United, but they considered no goal. And the highest overperformer were Leicester City, or the highest underperformer defensively were Leicester City, because of the Burnley being the highest overperformer in terms of attack. So they considered an XG of 0.6, but only considered 2 goals rather. They considered 2 goals in an XG of 0.6. So no big chances considered by them. So it was tough for Leicester to lose that game. So let's look at the next team, which is the player statistics. Antonio is back, and he's back at the top again. Antonio is really looking like a premium player in the game. He's really
like a 10 million player, yeah.
Yeah, he's looking like a 10 million plus player. This is for the 4th week in a row. Or for the 4th week, he is at the top of this pile. I think he missed one game and he got a red card in the other one. But in the other 4 weeks, Antonio is the top when it comes to attacking performance. So he had an XGI. This is sorted by expected points, sorry. So he had an expected points of 9.7, but he kind of underperformed by 8. So this is why I say it was he deserved the goal because of the amount of chances that he had. He was involved in 3 big chances. His XGI was 1.9, highest of the week, and he only had 1 goal. So yeah, he could have got a couple of involvement in my opinion. And in terms of overperformance, the player who overperforms the most was Jose Sa. Of course, he created 2 big chances. He had the XGI of 0.8 and 1 goal involvement. That was the assist for the goal. And of course, he kept a clean sheet and made a lot of saves. That's why, of course, when it comes to XGI, when it comes to overperformance for goalkeeper and defenders, it's sometimes very tricky to understand. But he was the highest overperformer of the week, and the highest underperformer was Bruno Fernandes because, of course, he missed the penalty, the big chance in the dead. So yeah, that is it for game week 6. And if you look at the season, just briefly, like defensively, like I say, Man City is at the top still, completely dominant. They are 2.2 xGC conceded over the course of the season, and they have already the next best team is Everton with 6.1 xGC conceded. So look at that gap when it comes to Man City and the other teams. And then you look at xG attacking wise, Liverpool 7.2, highest in the league. And then the second best is Manchester City with 13.1. Also, you can see that gap. So when it comes to attack and defense, it's kind of very clear that there are 2 dominant teams in the league. That is Liverpool in attack, Man City in defense. And the interesting thing is they play each other this week. The best attacking team and the best defensive
team.
Yeah, it's gonna be very entertaining. That's why I'm very excited about that game coming.
Unstoppable force meets an immovable object. So how is it gonna turn out now?
Yeah, exactly. And if you look at the Whooping Boys, in terms of defense, Whooping Boys, Leeds United, Norwich, Newcastle, no surprise. These 3 teams are there. They have conceded a lot of chances. XGC, all of them have conceded an XGC of more than 12. They are the only 3 teams that conceded an XGC of more than 12. So that's why I think these 3 teams are the target when it comes to captaincy. I think that's why Antonio was a bit popular last week. And in terms of attack performance, the 3 teams that are not performing well is Norwich City again. Norwich City are bottom 3 for all. Leicester City are not performing in terms of attack, but of course Vardy is doing his things. Tottenham are the other team that are very bad in attack. So Kane and Son, I think Son they do overperform, but they need to do more.
Season, yeah, I think things have leveled this season. Maybe it's because of the change or Harry Kane. What happened in the summer is almost collapsed move to Man City, but the team is not. Something is wrong in the team. Maybe it's a new coach, so who knows?
Exactly. Yeah. And this is the player statistics in terms of over the course of the season so far. Salah is at the top when it comes to expected points with 48.4, and he's also leading the points chart with 57. Antonio at second with 43.6 expected points and 47 points. But of course, we remember Antonio missed the game through suspension, so maybe he would have been at the top if not for that suspension. So yeah, and the other 3, Jota, Mane. 3rd is Mane, 4th is Jota, and Cancelo is right there at 5th. So yeah, I think this is a good table to look at when you are picking your wildcard team, and to try to get like Sar. I think you have him already in your team. So ASM, those kind of
it's not there anymore. I can't afford it. Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
But you see, Jimenez is the highest underperformer when it comes to the top 20. He was supposed to have a point of 28.5, but he ended up with 16 points. And I think that goal was hindering him, was kind of playing in his head. To get that first goal, I think will do him a wall of good. That's why I think we discussed before the pod about Jimenez and other strikers. But I think Jimenez, from now on, he could be back to what we expect him to be.
I think so too.
Yeah, we can move on to the manager of the week and the league table.
All right, the manager of the week is Malang Baji. With how many points does he get? 77 points?
Yeah, 77 points.
Ababa's team. So congrats, yeah. Ababa's team for having 77 points, the manager of the week. I mean, to manage this in this week, as bad as it is, honestly, I think it's just it's a masterstroke, to be honest. Looking at his team, yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I want to say, look at his team. Say something about his team first, then I will comment.
Yeah. His team is I think he's ahead of the curve, honestly, with the Man City defenders. He has
Triple up.
Ederson in goal. Yeah, Ederson in goal. Walker with 7 points. Ederson 6 points. Diaz 5 points. The Shaw with 0. Rudiger with 1. In midfield, he has Tielemans with 7. Pogba with 2. Doucouré with 11. Saka with 13. Aubameyang with 14. And Vardy with 11. This is a very differential team. Most of these players are not really in most teams. The
Yeah, that's
midfield and the attack both. Yeah.
Yeah, it worked well for him this week,
Yeah,
but
for this week, yeah.
it's very dangerous.
If it doesn't, if the template works, then this team is not going to work on a normal.
Yeah,
normal
and
week,
because
yeah.
it coincided with Arsenal doing very well, Saka
Yeah,
and Aubameyang.
That is why.
But to go in the game week without any of the the popular premiums, that is Salah, that is what is it, Ronaldo, Lukaku, no Mane, no De Bruyne. I think Vardy is the only player that is costing more than 10 million in this team. Everything is kind of balanced. It's dangerous, but it worked. So if it works, it works. But yeah, congratulations
it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
But anyway, for now, congrats to Ababa's team, Malang Baji, for being the manager of the week. Yeah, it's master stroke. Yeah, and I'll just go through the top 5 of the Kotu Classic Mini League. Still a few changes. In 5th, moving into 5th is Luke McGowan. And in 4th, Andrew Henning himself, he fell down, I think, from 3rd to 4th. And then Sanjali Bojang has moved into 3rd. And then the top 2 is still unchanged. In 2nd is Alaji Job. And then yourself, the Kotu Classic himself, Mr. Chama, Kotu Classic Chama, is still in 1st.
It is getting close though, but yeah, I'm still hanging there.
That's how it's supposed to be, yeah. Okay, so moving on to our game week 7 fixtures, the most anticipated games. Let's have the fixture list. So yeah, like we said, this is the fixtures for this week. So looking at these fixtures, which one actually pops out or jumps out to you as a potential FPL gold mine?
I think Chelsea has to be it. They are struggling in terms of attack because they are missing most of their attack. Their attacking players are not in form except for Lukaku. Mount, he's in and out of the team, injured, so I'm not even sure if he will be back this game week. Havertz has not done much other than that goal against Liverpool. So in terms of creativity for Lukaku, there is not much in there. But of course, there are the Alonsos, who is also very, who can be very instrumental in this game. So the only worry I have with that Chelsea team is how are they going to create chances for Lukaku because of what I just highlighted. But I think that is a game to target when it comes to FPL points. Of course, you have to see Norwich and Burnley again. Burnley can be a team to target because of Norwich are just bad in terms of defense. Yeah, so yeah, I would point at those two teams, to those two games. How about you? Which other games
I'm looking at Leeds Watford. It just jumps out to me like that. Leeds Watford, like you just mentioned, Leeds are in the bottom for the defense, goals considered and whatever. But the thing is, Watford are doing well now because their fixtures are slightly easier. So even though they drew against Newcastle, but against Leeds it's going to be an open game, and you cannot play Watford that way because they have very strong attackers like
counter-attacking
team. So definitely looking at this fixture list right now, I mean, and trying to see how I can get some of these players, and I think I have to bring Sad back into my team even for this just for this week at least,
And then you plan to sell him because I think from there they have
from there it gets a bit difficult, pretty tricky. So I think I'll bring him back into this team. Another one that's going to be interesting this week for me that I've seen is going to be, let's say, I think Wolves Newcastle too.
Yeah, it will be interesting.
It will be interesting because we are hoping that Wolves, like after winning their game, and after Jimenez scoring that goal to get the monkey off his back, now going into Newcastle, you think that they'll be dominant against Newcastle. So we'll see what happens. But I'm hoping that.
West Ham too. Their games are usually very entertaining, and Brentford after the game they played against Liverpool, I would fancy them to create a lot of chances against any team.
So I think they did well. They did
Yeah,
well.
I see that game to being an open one. Brentford going for it and West Ham going for it. But the thing with Brentford is they adapt to the situation.
Mm.
Like when you remember their game against Wolves, they were a bit defensive team. You remember their game against Brighton, there were no big chances. For example, Brentford, they considered 4 big chances before they play Liverpool. They considered 5 big chances against Liverpool. So, like, they considered more big chances in that game alone compared to their other 5 games. And that was because they went for it. They went out. We don't care about our defense. We're going to go for it. And then we're going to score as many as they. So, I don't
I
know
think
how they're
they,
going to
yeah.
approach. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to approach this West Ham game because West Ham too are an attacking team. So if they sit back, they might suffer from Antonio and Ben Rahmas. So maybe they might want to go at the other end too. So I can see that this game being a bit of an open game too, similar to what happened against Liverpool.
I think against you guys, they wanted to make a statement that they're not afraid of any team. And they managed to do that. Yeah, that they attacked against Liverpool, one of the best teams in the league, So
Absolutely.
they came out and they attacked and they showed that they can still hang out with the big boys.
Absolutely.
So now they might go back to, because some of these new teams, it's more difficult for them to play against teams in their same level of like strength than against bigger teams. So that's where the challenge is going to be. But I think it's going to be an interesting game, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. And the two friends over there, Everton and United, you guys are kind of a friends, right? Because both of you are Liverpool rivals. So
it's a good team. It's a good Benitez. No, sorry, not Benitez. It's a good time to play Everton now because DCL is injured. And I think it's a good time. We definitely should be winning this game.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
I'm not gonna bet on my team winning, because right now we have all the players. It's a very good team, but it's just the consistency is just off for me. Like you cannot.
And then I think it's gonna be a team that's gonna sit back a little bit, and I think United struggle against team that sit back and also team that press.
With a low block, yeah.
Yeah, teams that play with a low block at Old Trafford is usually a difficult one for United, and Everton for sure. I think they're gonna sit a little bit deeper because of its Benitez. Benitez will he's a very good defensive-minded coach, so I think that will be. But how do you make of the final game of the week? That is the big one. Liverpool, Manchester City.
I think number one, it's gonna play out like it's been playing out for the past few seasons. They come out the first half and they give it all their best to see what happens. Like, I think most of the time they want to see who scores first and who can control the game. But it's going to be an interesting game. But I think it's all going to be contained in the first half. The second half is just going to be like what they always do, just gliding, relaxing, passing the ball around, and let the time pass by. But I'm thinking it's going to be a draw. It's either a draw or a Liverpool win. Yeah, because they are playing at home.
Yeah. I expect. As a Liverpool fan, I always expect Liverpool to win, especially when we play at Anfield. And with fans back, last season I think we suffered our first defeat at Anfield against Manchester City, which was very difficult to take, of course. But now we have the fans back. We have the important players back. I think every player is important at Liverpool, but I think we have the Van Dijks of this world, the Matips of this world. They are all back. The Hendersons. We were missing all these players last season when we played them at Anfield. So that was a very bit of a struggle. And Alisson have a difficult game that day. So this time with the fans back and with all the players looking bright, Liverpool looking very sharp in attack, not like last time when we are not scoring for the whole of January playing them. I think we scored our first goal in January against Manchester City, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, I can see a Liverpool win, to be honest. I think we can go for it, but I think Manchester City, you can never rule them out. You just see what they did to Chelsea. They completely shut them down in their own backyard. No chances for Chelsea. But I don't think they can do that to Liverpool. I think Liverpool will have chances. And with the fans, with the crowd and things like that, I think it will be a very entertaining game. I'm really excited about this game because of the fact that these two teams are best defense, best attack. So let's see who
a game of
who
stats.
breaks first.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. Okay, so moving on to our teams, I'll let you go first since I'm wildcarding. So
let me go first.
All the transfers you've made for this game week.
Alrighty. Here is my team. Yeah, game week 7 team. So far I made only one transfer, and that is Lukaku in for Ronaldo. Trent is currently in the team, but I plan to take a hit again this game week, and that is to bring in Alonso for Williams, the Norwich defender, because Norwich are not impressive at all, even though he's a 4 million defender who I wanted to keep. But I don't think they are entertaining enough for me to keep them. I'm not seeing any promises there. So I will just get rid of him. I have a lot of money in my bank, so I will bring Alonso. And then I will start Alonso, Trent, and Samedo. Even though Trent will not play, I know. And then Tierney will come in for Trent. And De Gea. Then I have in midfield Salah, Greenwood, Jota, Ben Rahma, Gallagher. In attack, Lukaku and Antonio. You know what's nice about my team this game week? All 11 players are playing at home.
Wow.
I cannot remember ever having this kind of scenario.
This kind of This is very peculiar. It's strange, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good one.
Yeah. Let's go to wildcard team now. This is the latest wildcard.
This is the latest draft.
Yeah.
Actually, and I haven't actually. The funny thing is, I haven't really had many drafts since I pushed the wildcard button yesterday. This is the first team. This is like the second draft only. I just made a few changes from hearing the news that Trent might not be available for the next, I think, 2 or so game weeks. He's injured. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, this is the team. I have Ramsdale in goal because he's impressed so far. I have Semedo, I have Tierney, and I have Alonso in defense. And then in midfield, I have Salah, Rafinha, Brownhill, and then Saka. So yeah, and then in attack, I have obviously the ever-present Antonio. I have Lukaku, which I brought in, which was the plan anyways, and then Jimenez.
Yeah.
So it's 3-4-3, and now I'm thinking of trying to get Sar into this team. I don't know how I'll bring him in, but yeah, Sar. For Brownhill, we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, because I can see you are preparing for game week 8 already.
Yeah, I am. Oh, so yeah. I didn't even mention my bench. Yeah, on my bench I have Foster. Foster, I have Livramento, and then I have Cancelo and Grealish. So my bench is a very expensive bench, honestly.
yeah, it's an expensive bench, especially when it comes to Grealish. Yeah, I think with the Manchester City players, if you're gonna get Cancelo, I think rather than starting Brownhill, you can start them. You can start Cancelo or Grealish, one of them, because you never know. These big players, they are more likely to score than when it comes to Brownhill, even if he play against Norwich. I know that is a very good fixture against Norwich, but I would rather start the big hitters, especially Grealish, instead of Brownhill, you know. Yeah, Liverpool are conceding chances, Liverpool are conceding goals, and Grealish is gonna start, Cancelo is gonna start. So maybe if they score a goal, so 1 or 2 of them will be involved in them. So yeah, if I was going, I would maybe go with one Manchester City. I don't know how many Manchester City players do you plan to have in game week 8? What, 3 or 2?
Just 2. 2. Just 2. And I don't like tripling up in one team. So just 2 for now.
Yeah. So if that
for me, these are the best 2, yeah.
So if that is the case, usually when I do a wildcard, I want to make sure that I will not make any transfer in the next game week, in the subsequent game week, right? So if you have that scenario, then you have one transfer to make. If you create your team such that you don't have to make a lot of transfer, then you have that one transfer to make. You are talking about Sar right now. What if Sar Grealish in for Sar, and then you have 2 million in the bank? Next game week, Sar out, Grealish in. So you can get those points and then use that transfer, you know, because the wildcard
that makes sense.
Sometimes this is how I do my transfers. I prepare them for the next game week, but I plan that transfer. I know many managers like out there, content creators or something, they hate this, how do they call it?
Yeah.
Like putting a transfer ahead, like planning a transfer ahead before it happens. But if it is just one game week, I don't see a lot of problem in doing that. Yeah, of course.
I think that's fine. I think that makes a lot of sense. Bringing in Sar for Grealish, and then next game week, I guess bring in back. Just do the same opposite. Just bring in Grealish for Sar. Simple, because I'll have the money in the bank. Yeah, because I don't think Brownhill is much of a player that's going to have much of a really good impact as an attacking player against Norwich, even if though it's against Norwich. But yeah, Sar against Leeds seems like a very good option for me to have right now. Absolutely. Jumps out to me. So yeah.
But otherwise, I really like the team. The only other issue I have is not going full on Chelsea. You went with Alonso and Lukaku. I I am gonna get two of them. I'm gonna get both of them, Alonso and Lukaku. They are my transfer this week but if I was on a wild card, I would be 100% going with the triple Chelsea, and sure.
That's the thing though. Right now, if I'm going to get a third Chelsea player, it's going to be a defender, and that I don't want that to happen, because I feel like if I'm going to get a double up in defense, it has to be Man City. The stats say the same, but I would have loved to have Mount as a third mid, like Chelsea option, but he's not doing so well right now. I was thinking of Kovacic, but the stats don't really agree, and the way they play, maybe it's recency bias, but maybe like in the next few game weeks, we'll see a midfielder from Chelsea imagine that is worth having in our teams. You never know.
Yeah. But now with Trent out too, I don't see. Well, Semedo is a very good pick for this week, but after this week, I think Wolves fixture. Of course, when we are talking about Wolves like 2-3 game weeks ago, it's because of most of their fixtures were green or grey.
Yeah.
But most of these green ones are gonna be gone by this week. After that, it's gonna be mostly grey ones. They play 2 away fixtures against Leeds and against what is it called? Against Aston Villa. Let me look at the fixture ticker. Wolves is here down in the bottom. Game week 6, they play Southampton. Game week 6, okay.
It's a good fixture. Southampton, and then we're going to game week 7 now.
Yeah. This was the thing. 5, 6, 7 was the good fixtures, and then now 7. This is 7, right? Then after 7, Aston Villa, Leeds, Everton, Crystal Palace, West Ham. These 5 fixtures, if you look at them in detail, like if you look at Aston Villa, you will see they have Danny Ings. I think Wolves can concede a goal there. Leeds, they are one of the best attacking teams in the week. Regardless of how bad they are defensively, they will attack and they will score. Semedo is a defender. Score, yeah. Everton too, maybe by this time DCL is back. Crystal Palace, they are looking very good when they're playing at home. So West Ham, they are a very solid team. We all know Antonio, he scores almost everywhere. So you are not looking at a good fixture for Wolves until game week 13 at least. So of course, he's very good for this Newcastle game, but after that, I don't see why Wolves should be so important in our thinking. Yeah, I'm back.
Honestly, I don't like changing Trent, because it's a very tricky. I was explaining this before the pod. It's a very tricky situation. He's expensive, but if he's injured and you want to take him out and you want to get him back in, which I want to do in my case, I didn't want to touch him eventually, but when I heard that he was going to be out for a few games, I said, okay, it doesn't make any sense to just keep him in the bench. He's a very expensive player.
Yeah.
But once you take him out, you free up a lot of funds in your team, and you are very tempted to try and disperse those funds into places where you can get better players, like in defense or in midfield or in attack. And that is a problem, because once he comes back into the team and he's fit and he's playing, you want to get him back again. You have to make major surgeries into your team, take like hits, maybe a -4 or -8. Yeah, and that is not something I'm willing to do this season right now. You know the way I am with my hits. I haven't taken any hits this season, and I plan for it to stay that way. So that's why for this week I'm just gonna get Semedo, and I get Sarr, right? Yeah. But then once Trent comes back in, it's just a direct transfer, because we have been there anyways.
Yeah, so speaking of Trent too, the reason why I think after his injury, it makes it easy for wildcarders to get rid of him is because of fixtures too. Liverpool.
Yeah, it's not the best,
Liverpool, they play Manchester City now, currently, game week 7. After game week 7, they play Watford away from home. I think that's a good fixture for him. But after that, Manchester United away from home. I don't think that's a good fixture. Yeah, last season he got a couple of assists at Old Trafford. But I think the game is going to be different this season. Last season, I think Manchester United were already comfortable in second, so that made the game easier for Liverpool because Liverpool needed it more. Liverpool were so desperate to get into the top 4 at that time stage of the season. Yeah, exactly. But this time, Manchester United need the game equally as much as Liverpool, so it could be more difficult in my opinion. Brighton, one of the most organized defensive teams in the league. Of course, it's at home for Liverpool. Organized. Yeah, so but you never know. But after that, as West Ham away, Arsenal at home. Yeah, I think Trent, maybe around Arsenal, game week 12, is when he can be a very important player in our teams again. But you can do without him in the next 4 games.
Oh, okay. To be honest. That makes sense. Then I'll probably just get a defender. Like, which defender do you think right now, apart from the Man Cities and the Chelsea defenders, which I already have, which defender you think can be like a replacement for Trent in the next, let's say, 3 to 4 game weeks, or let's say 5 game weeks?
Yeah, I think Arsenal. I think you got the Arsenal one already. And
Semedo,
Yeah, I think Semedo is very tempting. You cannot get rid of him this game week because Newcastle, they are so bad defensively and they are not so good attack. Of course, they have Maximin, but they are not the best attacking team in the league. So I think Semedo is a very good pick for this week. But after that is the issue, right? And then TNA Arsenal, they're looking good and they're gonna have a good run. But this game week, I don't like their fixture against Brentford, against Brighton, because Brighton are a very tricky team to play against. And then Alonso. So yeah, of course, I think the three teams to target in terms of defense are Arsenal, Manchester City, and Chelsea.
Cheers.
So for me personally, I will go double Chelsea, and maybe double Chelsea and then go Samedo, something like that. I don't know, but Tierney is a good pick too.
Tierney is a good pick. Yeah, honestly, if they do well against Brighton, then I'll see them doing well against other teams in this run of fixtures because they have really good run of fixtures.
Let's look at the stats. Let's look at the team statistics again. The table for the season. The defensive teams. Brentford, they are number 3, right? Everton, they are number 2. But Brentford, their fixtures are not so great. Everton, too, they are getting into a rough patch. Brighton, you used to have Duffy, but you get rid of him, right? I think he's still a good pick because he's also a threat in the opposition box. I think he's one of the biggest threat in terms of attack for defenders in the game this season. He's looking like that.
So you think he's a better pick than Livramento, who's playing out of position?
Because Livramento is a 4.2 million. I think that's a no-brainer. You need to get him in your wildcard team because it helps you to get other players, and he's gonna give you minutes. And they are gonna get a good run of games in the next 2 game weeks after they play Chelsea. They are gonna have a good run. So and where are they in the table? They are around 12. It's not bad for a 4 million defender. So yeah, Livramento should stay, I think. Another defender, yeah, Liverpool 5th, Wolves, Aston Villa. Yeah, I think it's Manchester City and Chelsea. It's Manchester City and Chelsea.
Yeah, I think those are the 2 biggest ones. Yeah.
I know you don't like the double defense.
I don't like double defense.
Yeah, I know that.
I think it's because it's just one game with 2 options. If the game goes bad, then most of your points gone. If it goes good, then yeah, it's a good masterstroke.
But what I can say about that is Liverpool to double on their defense is more painful. It's more difficult than to double on Manchester City and
because they're expensive
and Chelsea. Yeah, Liverpool are expensive, but why they are difficult? Because Liverpool, they will attack and they play. They are very relaxed when they come to their defensive duties.
Mm-hmm.
Like definitely. Sometimes it's just 2 players defending Liverpool will concede big chances. Liverpool will concede chances. Compared to Manchester City, they are very close. It's difficult to concede a chance against Manchester. It's difficult for Manchester City and Chelsea to concede a chance. So you are more relaxed when you are watching them as your defensive options than Liverpool. Liverpool, it can be end-to-end stuff like you see against Brentford. We can see that often, like against Leeds United last season. You don't see those kind of games for Manchester City. You don't see them because they are more controlling type of teams than Liverpool. So you can relax if you own their double defense, but you're not gonna get the excitement of the attacks, like 2-3 assists, something like that you get from Liverpool.
I think mostly if I'm going to get a double defense, it's going to be back to last season where I got Cancelo and Diaz. Yeah, I think Diaz might come in, but I don't think I'm going to get double Chelsea. But anyway, we'll see. They never say never.
Yeah.
I think for now this it's as about 80% done. My team is about 80 to 90% done. You can say just a few more changes, and then I'll be comfortable with it.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm to be honest. I'm very happy with the team. I'm looking at it. It's looking very solid. And only Brownhill, of course. I don't want to see Brownhill starting for my team. Never. Only on the bench. Yeah, only that one. But yeah, otherwise I think you are good to go.
Okay. All right. So moving on to captaincy discussion.
Yeah,
for game week 7. I think this one too is one of those that we have that is not even
debatable, right?
Debate is not what has been a debate. We're all going with Lukaku. That's the reason why I brought him into my team anyways, because we're all looking at the ton of Chelsea fixtures in game week 7. And that is it for Lukaku against Southampton. For me, that's my captain option.
Yeah. That's the best option in my opinion too. I see a lot of managers out there. They are talking about the Ronaldo being very close to Lukaku. For me, I don't see it that way. You just saw that Everton are the 2nd best defensive team in the league after Manchester City, as we see. And but I don't know, for some reason, some people think Everton is gonna be a easy one for Ronaldo, for Manchester United. And Manchester United are struggling to create chances.
Yeah.
Manchester United are struggling to create chances. Everton are looking solid in defense. So it's not gonna be as straightforward in my opinion. I think I would rather captain Antonio against Brentford than Ronaldo against Everton.
Brentford's defense is no joke. Don't let the match against
No,
Liverpool fool you.
I agree, but it's
They
Antonio
defend
too.
very well.
No, but
But
the
the
way
only thing is that they're missing
Antonio
also
need to
one of
have
their
chance, right?
defenders. Yeah.
Yeah, Pinnock got injured and they struggle after that. Yeah, but Antonio is Antonio, boy. But Antonio is the best attacking player in the team. I tell you, he's a premium player for this season, and he's looking like it. He's doing it. You can see it in the numbers. He's only behind Salah because of his red card. If not for that, like his suspension, he would have been outright number one in terms of attack. So I see him in the same mold as Ronaldo and Lukaku at this point in time, to be honest.
Okay, according to our captaincy matrix, the first choice for this week is Lukaku versus Southampton. Second choice is Cristiano or Bruno versus Everton. Third is Antonio versus Brentford. Fourth, we have Bamford versus Watford. And then in fifth, we have Wood versus Norwich, which is, I think, is a very good one. I think this, if you have any Burnley attackers, you probably should be licking your lips right now. And then last but not least, in option 6, we have Jimenez versus what team are they playing again? Newcastle.
Newcastle,
at home, yeah. So I think that's it. As straightforward as you can get it. I think Lukaku stands out as the dominant captain for this week, which I'm going with. Okay, so last but not the least, any plans? Do you have any plans for beyond Game Week 7, Chama? Anything that you want to change, drastic changes or strategies?
Yeah, of course. Game week 8, Manchester City will start their turn too, because Chelsea will start their turn this game week. So I took the hit for them and make sure it's a like long-term thing. So Manchester City in game week 8, they are gonna be the team that I will be targeting. So I will probably bring 2 Manchester City defenders or a midfielder, and I am thinking of Laporte. Actually, I think many people are not thinking about him, but he is looking like the most attacking threat in the Manchester City defense. And if, well, maybe something has clouded my judgment here, but I think I know Diaz was their best defender in the team, but the season that Laporte had before he got his knee injury, I think that season he is as good. He was as good at Diaz. He was as good as Diaz, and he had some attacking potential in it.
Yeah.
So in terms of rating for me defensively, Laporte is one of the top 3 defenders in the league. And that I will include Van Dijk and Diaz. And then Laporte will be the third one. I know a lot of people are talking about, what is his name? Stones coming back into the team. But I think Diaz last year he struggled with injury and things like that. But I think Laporte is just different class when compared to Stones and other Manchester City defenders. Diaz, because of his, the way he plays and the leadership and things like that. But Laporte is up there with him. So I am considering him. He's their biggest attacking threat so far this season. I think he already scored a goal. And if you look at the numbers, I think he took 10 shots. Only 2 players had took more shots than him when it comes to the premium defenders. That is, I think Trent had 11. I was looking at those numbers, so I'm sorry I don't have them here, but he's very close to the top when it comes to attacking numbers. At Man City, he's absolutely at top when it comes to chances in the opposition box for defenders. So I am considering him and maybe Cancelo.
I think for me, my wildcard says it all. I'm targeting 3 teams which have, I think, easy fixtures in the next few game weeks. That is top of the list is Chelsea and then Man City, and then probably like an Arsenal, who are probably in the middle. So yeah, I think the template is going to change, and I'm preparing myself for that change. Maybe get some price rises as well. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we've come to the end of the pod. Any last words before we close, Chama?
Yeah, I'm just a plug-in for the Kotu Classic or the Jollof Football Bantaba YouTube channel. We are still struggling for followers. We are still struggling for subscribers. So if you are listening to us for the first time, please consider subscribing to our channel. And if you like what we do, just hit that like and notification bell so that anything we post relating to Kotu Classic podcast and any other football related topic that we do on the platform, you will be the first to know, guys. So please help us grow this channel. That's all I have to say, man. How about you? Any last words?
All right. I think you've already said enough. You said it all. Please support the pod as always. Like I keep saying in this part of the pod, in all the episodes. Support the pod, like, share, and listen. we only give you what our thoughts are, and because we are avid FPL managers, some of us are trying to get into the top 500. Meanwhile, some of us are already there. Anyway, thanks, listeners. We'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, take care. Bye.
Bye.